Another close checking period, but Brian Spencer made everybody's day here in the Gardens on his own with his third goal of the evening at the 16:02 mark, his first NHL hat trick. Jock Plon, incidentally, has now completed, according to our statistics, 8 scoreless periods in a row, so one more period for him means 3 games in a row, so a lot of interest will be focused on that in this next period to see if Jock can keep it up. Score 4-0 for the Leafs. Well, number 9 is one of the most popular numbers in hockey today, mainly because several of hockey's biggest stars wear number 9. Gordie Howe wears it, so does Bobby Hull, Norm Ullman, and several other team leaders. One of the first Leaf players to wear number 9 was Big Charlie Conacher, a famous member of the famous hockey family. Here's Brian McFarland with the Charlie Conacher story.
Over the years, Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto has attracted capacity crowds for many different events, but hockey has always been the #1 attraction. And high on the honor roll of all-time Leaf superstars is the name Charlie Conacher, the legendary big bomber of the Leaf Kid line. In the 30s, Charlie Conacher was the greatest right winger in hockey, the Gordie Howe of his day. He was big and strong, and his shot was feared by every goaltender in the league. He could look after himself on the ice, and he also joked about having to look after his best pal, King Clancy, whenever the fists began to fly. Charlie was born in Toronto in 1909. That's baby Charlie in mother's arms. He was one of 10 children raised by Ben Conacher, a teamster who once worked for $7.50 a week. The Conacher kids never had a dime. They played games to stay out of trouble in their neighborhood. In hockey, Charlie started out as a goalie because he was such a poor skater. But he didn't wear the goal pads for long. He soon learned to skate better than anybody for blocks around, and he did it by playing shinny whenever and wherever he could. He was perfecting the skills that would someday make him a superstar in the world's fastest league. In junior hockey, he scored a sensational 80 goals for the Toronto Marlboros, and soon after he signed a contract with the Leafs for $10,000. After shaking hands on the deal with Leaf manager Conn Smythe, the rookie went out and bought himself a yellow convertible with a rumble seat. Charlie enjoyed the life of a big league player, even the hard work and calisthenics of training camp. He was everybody's pal, and he had no trouble at all making the jump from junior competition. In fact, he scored a goal in his first big league game at the old Arena Gardens. In time, he teamed up with a slick centerman, Joe Primo, and a dashing left winger and former junior line mate, Busher Jackson. It was the birth of the Kid line. At the height of the Depression, in what was called a miracle of engineering and financing, a new sports palace was under construction in Toronto. Maple Leaf Gardens, a new home for the Leafs, and the future site for many of Conacher's greatest accomplishments, was completed in time for the 1931-32 season. Despite his size and strength, over the years in a Leaf uniform, Charlie became known as the league's hard luck player. Injuries often sent him to the sidelines. At various times, he broke both his hands and his wrist. He smashed his collarbone and broke his shoulder. He suffered from blood poisoning, boils, and he even lost a kidney. These ailments often cost him a scoring championship. One of his greatest thrills was in helping the Leafs win the Stanley Cup the first year they played in Maple Leaf Gardens. That was the season the league introduced the 48-game schedule, and some people thought the players would never be able to stand the pace. Much of the credit for the Leafs' success went to Conn Smythe, who molded the squad, and Dick Irvin, who coached it. Twice Charlie won the scoring title in the NHL, and 4 times he was the league's top goal-getter. In modern-day hockey, there seems to be some significance to the wearing of number 9. Perhaps it was Charlie Conacher who was the forerunner of all the great players who have come along to wear the coveted numeral on the backs of their jerseys, men like Gordie Howe and Bobby Hull. Certainly when Conacher wore number 9, there were thousands of schoolboys all across the country who requested the same numeral for their own jerseys in small fry hockey activities. Throughout his career, Charlie patterned himself after his brother Lionel, 9 years his senior. Lionel was known as the Big Train, possibly the greatest athlete in Canadian sports history. In the off-season, the brothers often fished and hunted together. Away from the rink, Charlie's name helped sell breakfast cereal, shaving cream, and a variety of other products. If Charlie endorsed a product, sales were bound to improve. In his 9th season with the Leafs, Conacher suddenly quit hockey. The team doctor advised him to retire or risk serious consequences. Charlie did quit for a few months, but the next season, Detroit purchased his contract on a look-see basis, and he embarked on a comeback. The Red Wings decided not to pick up their option on Charlie's services, and he switched uniforms once again, this time going to the New York Americans. Charlie spent 2 seasons with the Star-Spangled Americans, but the luster was gone. Age and injuries had slowed him down. In October 1941, he suggested to the Americans that they find some good kid to take my place. Charlie turned to coaching after his playing days were over. He guided the Oshawa Generals to a Memorial Cup victory with players like Gus Mortson, Ted Lindsay, and David Bauer, later Father Bauer, on that Oshawa club. Bill Ezenicki was another of his junior stars in Oshawa. From Oshawa, he was called back to the NHL, this time as skipper of the Chicago Blackhawks. He enjoyed a 3-year stint behind the Chicago bench. There were named players on his Chicago team, men like Bill Gadsby, Gus Bodner, Doug Bentley, Bob Goldham, Charlie's brother Roy Conacher, Gay Stewart, Emil Francis, and Bud Poyle. A few years ago, the Conacher clan held a family reunion, and all 10 children showed up. There was Roy, Charlie, Dad Conacher, Lionel, Derm, and Bert in the back row, Queenie, Doll, Mother Conacher, Mary, Nora, and Kay in front. Charlie was just as successful in the business world as he was on the ice. With his partner, former NHL goalie Roy Werters, he ran the Conroy Hotel in Toronto for many years. But he always had time for his pals, men like Clancy, Peter Kennedy, and of course, whenever there was a reunion of old-timers, the Kid line would be photographed together again. Now the Big Bomber is gone, loser in his battle with cancer in 1967. Any other opponent wouldn't have kept him away from the action for more than 10 minutes' time.
And apropos of that brief story on Charlie, on February 19th here at the Gardens, there's to be a special old-timers game between the Quebec old-timers and those from Ontario, with proceeds going to the Charlie Conacher Cancer Research Fund. Now, players such as Rocket Richard, Dickie Moore, Charlie's own son Peter, I think, and of course our own Bob Golden will all be taking part. So that's Friday, February 19th here at Maple Leaf Gardens, and if it's anything like the last game, it'll be a scream. And now let's look at our NHL scoreboard tonight. Detroit now leading Buffalo 2-0. Certainly a better night for the Red Wings than they had just 1 week ago. Goals by Howe and Nick Libet. Libet's goal coming at 11:33 of the second period. Still no score between New York and Minnesota, but they've got a pretty good game going in Chicago, where Boston are the visitors. Esposito and Sanderson have scored for Boston. Nikita scored the first goal for Chicago. Jerry Pinder from Bobby Hull at 4:57 of the second period for the second Chicago goal. In Montreal this afternoon, Yvan Cournoyer scored 1 goal down there, while the only other afternoon game was a 5-3 effort, Philadelphia over California. Coming up on Hockey Night in Canada next Wednesday, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the California Golden Seals. And then 1 week from tonight, we have 3 games on tap. In Toronto, the Leafs play host to Jack Kent Cook's Los Angeles Kings. Down in Montreal, the Boston Bruins are the visitors. And out on the West Coast, the Vancouver Canucks will meet the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 3rd game on Hockey Night in Canada. So consult your local TV listings for the time and the station in your particular area. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
Last week we went skiing at Hidden Mountain. How was it? I don't know. We never did find it.
I just poured motions over the nail on my skis. Well, I heard you say it was down good hands to me.
I felt like summer, but the day pretty chilly and wintry.
Burn?
No, I almost froze.
We'll meet you later at the T-bar.
Can't we go somewhere with a big molten golden ale?
After a day on the slopes, all I need is a roaring fire and a good, smooth, molten golden ale.
And what about me?
You can have one, too.
Molten golden, a good smooth ale. Do you know what you're missing? The 1971 Mercury Meteor, all new from that great new grill, clean on back. Quiet, superbly appointed interior with upper-level power ventilation. A husky but economical V8 engine standard. Mercury Meteor, your money gets you more. Costs a little over $3, but well under $4.
Bob Goldenbach, and Bob, did I put the kiss of death on Jack?
Well, you know, Ward, school seniors are the most superstitious people in the world. I know that if he had heard you mention the fact that he was going for a shutout with the game only 2/3 over, he'd chase you out of the desk.
I'm going to tell him you said it.
Go ahead. Anyway, we had some fair action. The period wasn't that great, but we see Harrison and Smith racing for the puck. Smith beats him to it, and here's Darrell Sittler with a wide open net and hit Val Fontaine in the back, you know, and I guess he'll be starting to wonder what he's got to do because Smith was at least 35 to 40 feet out of that net. We see it again in slow motion, and as Smith leaves his net, Jimmy Harrison and Val Fontaine in pursuit the other way. Smith gets to it first and leaves it here, and we see Sittler moving in, and there's that wide open net, and as he shoots it, we don't pick it up too well on the camera, but it did hit Val Fontaine in the back and just bounced to the left of the net, you know, and they don't count that way, though.
Sittler's had 2 good assists tonight. That line played well.
Yeah, well, we see him on that assist you're talking about because he was definitely responsible for Brian Spencer's third goal as we see him dig the puck out along the boards and getting it back to Rick Lee, and a fine bit of work by Sittler as he battled all the way here, got it back to Rick Lee, and Rick Lee set it over to Spencer, and a beautiful shot. And we're going to see this again, I hope, in slow motion because if anybody threaded a needle, Spencer did in this shot. As we see Jim Morrison come out to try to block it, and that puck just went by his legs, and Smith couldn't get over quite fast enough, and it was about 2 or 3 inches inside the post in a well-shot puck.
And his first.
A lot of people go through their whole careers never getting those.
Thanks, Bob. Here at Maple Leaf Gardens and Toronto, the score at the end of the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Pittsburgh Penguins no score.
Want a little car that's a little better? It's Ford's new Pinto. We gave Pinto a 4-speed transmission, not just a 3-speed, so acceleration's a little snappier. A proven engine with over 50 million owner-driven miles to assure you of a little more dependability. Rack and pinion steering like Porsche and Jaguar, so Pinto steers with a little more precision. A heavy-duty drivetrain for a little extra durability. More room inside than the leading economy import for a little more comfort. A wider stance than any economy import, so Pinto rides a little smoother. Pinto, the little carefree car. It's a little better in a lot of ways. Pinto, a little better idea from Ford.
Pittsburgh Penguins are the first team out on the ice for the final period, with Toronto leading 4-0. Spencer scored twice in the first period. Keon made it 3-0, and then Spencer got the hat trick with his 4th goal, and there come the Leafs out. There were 6 penalties in the first period, 3 apiece. We had 6 penalties in the second, 4 to Pittsburgh and 2 to the Leafs. And Toronto outshot Pittsburgh 13-12 in the second period, 15-14 in the first. Spencer scored at 2:31 and 17:39 of the first. Keon at 19:39, and then the second, Spencer got the hat trick at 16:02, his 4th of the year. And for this final period, the Pittsburgh Penguins defend the north end of my left. There's Jacques Plante down at the south end of the right. Out-of-town score coming up now as Busick scored from Hodge and Orr, and Boston leads Chicago 3-2. Keon with Monahan and McMillan, Vaughn and Dory. Clark goes back into the nets after putting some tape. At center ice, number 24 is Rob Zane with Greg Polis, number 22, on one wing, and it's Stonover on the other. McMillan along the boards. Vaughn is given a shove by Zane, and play is called there right at the Leaf bench. Keon out there, McMillan and Monahan. Back at the blue line for the Penguins, we see Dwayne Rupp and Dunk McCallum. And Dory is playing with Vaughn. Dory over to Vaughn. Vaughn starts heading up toward his own blue line. Instead to Monahan at center. A quick pass for Keon. He was in the clear, but it was outside at the blue line. Dave Keon, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, number 14. Scored his 21st goal. And he's really off to a fast start this year. Goes back to Vaughn at the blue line. Vaughn again takes a pick to Monahan. He's got Monahan in the clear. Tried to get his backhand away. McMillan was in there with him. The puck ends up along the boards. Stonover shoves McMillan. The puck goes the length of the ice. Flop. Lets it go. Dory touches it. Icing is the call. And the faceoff goes back into the Pittsburgh zone to the left. And linesman Dave Suchik will do the honors this time. So the face-off in the Pittsburgh zone to the left. There's Red Kelly back on the bench as the Penguins are trailing 4-0. Keon steals the puck, goes back to the goal, came up front to Monahan and shoots it. Oh, and that would hit a leg and somehow missed the open corner of the net. Shot down the ice. Dory could have played it, so Clark comes out of the net. Flips it around. Dory starting out on the right wing. He was checked. Here's Polis coming from the side with a shot. He hit the side of the net. There's a Pittsburgh player trapped in the goal as Monahan comes down the ice with McMillan. Monahan going over and goal. And his stick was hooked away from him at the last moment by Dwayne Rupp.
Put a little kick in your life with new Ford Pinto, the roomy little car with a very little price. See your Ford dealer.
Face off to the right of Pittsburgh. It comes back to the blue line, and Pellick wrapped it back into the corner. It's back in the net. Ullman doesn't know he had it as he was covering Brian Watson. Morrison's pass, then to Ronnie Schaap. Up at center for Morrison. His shot is off the target. Morrison was knocked down. Ronnie Ellis hit Hybrook in the back. Mike Pellick covers up. Pellick starts out and decides to shoot it down the ice. Running back for it is Brian Watson to touch it. Icing is the call. 18-19 to go in the game. Toronto 4, Pittsburgh no score. Johnny McClellan back of that Leaf bench. There's a sign that says right on Keon, and he was right on in the first period of 1939. They're checking the net to see if when that Pittsburgh player was in there, whether he cut the mesh at all. Shot around on the boards here for Henderson, number 19. He digs it out to center ice. Morrison is there. Morrison takes the look for Schaap over on the wing. Prentice trying to cut in, and Lee got a piece of him. Prentice still has it, though. Gets it back to Brian Watson. Watson goes in with a shot. And a deflection. And it's 4-1.
You see that? I believe that puck hit Mike Pellick and changed direction, and Brian Watson made a great take on Paul Henderson as Henderson came out to check him right at this point, and he pulled around him. And let's watch that shot. Quan is well screened, and see if that puck, yes, there it hit Mike Pellick and changed direction and dropped down and went through Plant's leg.
Pittsburgh goal scored by number 5, Watson. Assist number 20, Prentice, and number 17, Schaap. The time, 2 minutes even.
Spencer Watson. That's his second of the year. The puck goes back to the Leaf blue line. It's knocked back to the Pittsburgh line. And Wojtowicz, number 3, moves up for the Penguins after scoring. Tries to put on the pressure. Drury failed to get out. Wally Boyer to basket a shot. Lost back up. Going in the net. Shot it out. Here's a quick pass for Sittler at center. Wojtowicz shot it back, and Drury for Sittler too far. That back basket to Fontaine. He missed a check from Bond. Spencer getting it out and shot in again by Blackburn offside. But Bond came to the rescue of Jack Platt on that one.
Andy Daffke taking that pass here and getting a shot away. And as he picked up the rebound, the puck just going over that goal line as Bond reached out, as you said, Bill, and just cleared it about 3 inches away from that goal crease.
Harrison stopped the pass at center ice. Here's the pass for Spencer. And it's played back by Pittsburgh to center ice. Bob Bond shoots it in, and the Leafs were slow coming out. Chicago's tied it up 3-3. Keith Magnuson from Bobby Howe and Ryan Campbell, 13:46 of the second period. It's 4-1 here, the Leafs over Pittsburgh. Bob Blackburn giving it to Wojtowicz. He hits Sittler. Sittler trying to get it to Harrison. So on the boards, Wojtowicz is not going to let it go loose, so he holds it. 16:52 remaining in the game. Toronto 4, Pittsburgh 1. Bob Bond brings the puck out to center. A pass for Harrison into the Pittsburgh zone. Wojtowicz goes back. Watched by Harrison. Knocked him down. Sittler stopped the puck. There's a shot. And that went high into the crowd as he tried to pick the top right-hand corner as Al Smith had pulled away from him. And on the deflection, the puck will come outside the blue line. Now ready to go. Back to Rupp. Rupp's pass at center for Hextall. Spencer right on a Drury stick. Drury fails to get the puck out. A long shot is wide. Into the corner for Lowell McDonald, and the Pittsburgh defense hadn't moved up from McCallum to Rupp, who shot it in, and McDonald was late getting out. Another sign down up there, and it says, "Get one for me, Dory."
Yeah, and the markings on that sign looks like the same printer did the one for Dave Keon.
16-16 remaining in this hockey game. It's 4-1 for the Maple Leafs as McKinney goes back into his own zone to Mike Pellick. Pellick to Keon. Back to Pellick. Pellick moves up over the red line and then just lobs it in wide of the net. Came out in front. Smith gives it back to McCallum. Around on the boards. Stopped by Keon. Keon tried to set up Bond. Leafs McKinney gets it himself in the corner to Monahan right in front. A backhand. Monahan goes down. Keon gets the puck. Back to Pellick. Pellick gets hit for the shot. Right on. Keon lets one go. McCallum fell in front of it. Pellick moves up again. Right in front for McMillan. Back to McKinney. There's his shot. And that went wide. It's against the back of the net for McMillan. McCallum after with his glove. McMillan's got it again. Monahan goes after it. Back of the net. Al Smith is going to hold it there if he can. McCallum takes McMillan into the mesh and play is called.
The 1971 Torino, the middle-sized Ford that offers you extras, like a 3-speed automatic transmission that you can also shift manually. Front-powered disc brakes, not just powered drum brakes. High-back bucket seats, not just buckets with separated headrests. See your Ford dealer for the entire Torino story. Torino. Ford gives you better ideas.
Here's Al Smith on a great stop from Gary Monahan as he comes across here and just grabs that puck and laying on the corner. Gary Monahan couldn't quite get back to it.
Ready to go now, Keon facing off against number 24, Rod Zane. Greg Polis is number 22, and John Furnival is number 19. Monahan gets the puck back to McKinney. McKinney took his shot high off the glass. It ends up back of the net. Watson's pass for Furnival. Monahan covered him, but Watson pulls out. Stopped by Keon. McMillan keeps it in, took his shot. And Monahan tried to get a rebound, and McMillan was knocked down from behind by Watson. That was a little late after the whistle. McMillan didn't like it. He's playing everybody up. Here's Pellet's shot. It came in front of the net. Shot off the boards, but not out. Monahan kept it in. Finding it out to Polis at center. Keon covered him. McKinney to McMillan. McMillan turns at his own blue line off the boards to Pellet. Stopped by Watson. Watson to Polis. Offside was Furnival on the right wing. And, of course, we have a face-off outside the blue line. 14:35 remaining. Chicago Blackhawks now lead Boston 4-3. Bobby Howell from Pinder and White at 17:09, second period. Goes back to Rick Lee. He shot it down the ice. There's a race for it. Ellis getting into the clear with Henderson. It's right in front of the net. Ellis takes the shot. That was outside, another shot. And it ends up back in the net, and they pounce on it. Play is called, and how did that one stay out?
Let's take another look at this one on Ron Ellis and Jim Morrison breaking in as Ellis reaches the puck before Morrison with Paul Henderson trying to get in there, and how this puck didn't get by Smith as Lease took 2 or 3 good shots at it. Here it comes loose on the side. Ellis can't get his stick loose enough to get a shot at it. When he does get a good shot at it, it is blocked there, just was going in the net by Jimmy Morrison. To take a look at that again, and that was really close to being going over that line.
Well, they can't come any closer, and as you've said before, it has to go all the way over that red line before it counts.
Completely over, right.
That's a close one at both ends as Vaughn saved one going in up past block. It's 4-1 with 14:06 remaining in the hockey game. Shot covers his man along the boards. It comes back to Bob Wojtowicz. Here comes the shot. That's the way it's been shot. Shot tried to get his shot away. He did, but it was off the target. Lee covered by Halbrook, and then Lee went down on the puck with 13:49 left. Kind of quite wide open.
And another wide open net there, and Ron Schock being in the same position as Ellis couldn't quite reach it quick enough to get a shot away at that open net.
13:49 remaining in the hockey game. Comes back to Wojtowicz. Wojtowicz's pass for Bob Blackburn. He let it go. Stopped by Vaughn's stick. Vaughn shot it down on the left wing for Henderson. Henderson goes after it. Play is called, and it's offside. The pass originating from inside the blue line. And Henderson actually thought he was onside, but he had crossed the blue line before Vaughn shot the puck out. And therefore, it's from one territory to the other, and it's brought back. Face-off is from where the pass was made inside the Maple Leaf blue line. It goes to Rick Lee, and he shot it off the boards out to center ice. Hellman after it, cleared by Blackburn back into the Leaf zone, and it's Lee leaving it there. Shot penalty out in front, and Prentice couldn't get his shot. Bob Vaughn knocks his man down. Hellman back of the net. He's hit high by 2 Penguins, and then Lee stepped into his shot. Henderson is hit, but the puck goes sliding out to center. Made over to Blackburn. It takes a look for a shot. Shot is stopped by Vaughn. Blackburn hits Vaughn again. Over for Ellis. Harris trying to get over the line. Still has it. Slipped it through for Henderson. Henderson stops. Shot it back for Vaughn, and it was intercepted by Prentice. Prentice comes back down the ice to Pittsburgh over the blue line. Dropped it there for Hybrock, who centered it. The shot was just off the target. Comes back to McCallum. His shot knocked down by Rick Lee. McCallum's got it again. Got it back to the net. Blocked to Henderson. And Henderson just finds an opening. Shooting it down the ice, over the red line it goes, and that'll be icing.
We've got something for you to see. It's the little car with the better ideas, the 1971 Mercury Comet. You can get a choice of 6s or a V8. There's a 2-door Comet, too. Nifty, isn't it? Hey, listen, better than looking here, see your Mercury dealer now. He'll let you have a real close look at Comet, without a hockey game to interrupt.
Ready for the face-off from the lead stone to the left. Buckers drops it, brings it out. Gets away with Spencer, one man back. And Harrison there with him. And it was behind Harrison. Knocked out over the blue line to center. Boyer picks it up. Goes over with Bathgate. Bathgate was knocked down by Spencer. Spencer a penalty.
I would look at that check that Brian Spencer put on Andy Bathgate. I would believe he got his leg in, there's his leg up as he really pulled Andy down pretty hard, and the penalty called on Brian Spencer.
Toronto penalty to number 15, Spencer. 2 minutes for charging. The time, 7:57.
7:57, they call it charging. So Spencer is in the penalty box. He's had quite a night. He's had 2 penalties, and he scored 3 goals. Toronto 4, Pittsburgh 1. Pittsburgh playing up with Wally Boyer, checked by Harrison. Harrison coming up to center. Lost possession, but Armstrong was there to help him out. Into Harrison, into the Pittsburgh zone. With Bathgate. Bathgate took Harrison and knocked him down. It's clear in front of the net, and here comes Wally Boyer, number 18. He's coming up over the blue line to center, up over the leaf line. Goes to the corner. Pellick rides him off. Steps into him. Low McDonald gets it back to Dwayne Rupp at the blue line. Over here to Bathgate. Bathgate takes his shot, hit Harrison. Another shot hit Harrison. And Armstrong tries to get it out. Rupp lets one go, and Cross got that on his pass. And Harrison stepped in front of 2 blasts by Bathgate, and he can really shoot them.
That's 2 great plays by Jimmy Harrison, blocking those shots off the stick of Andy Bathgate. As you say, Bill, he can shoot a puck as well as anybody that's played or has played in the National League.
Change of players for the Penguins now as they send out Rod Zane along with Pronovo and Greg Polis. Bathgate remains out there with Dwayne Rupp. Keon is out there with Armstrong, Pellick, and McKinney. Keon had the face-off. McKinney gets into the circle, finds an opening, and shoots it down the ice. 1 minute and 13 seconds left in the penalty to Spencer. Andy Bathgate coming out of his own zone. Up over the blue line, up at center. Gets it over on the wing. Here's a shot right off the target by Polis. Cleared by Pellick, but not out. Hit Keon. Keon trying to break away. Rupp gets in front of him. Keon steals the puck. Has it in Armstrong all alone. Keon closing in. Still has it right in front of him. Back to McKinney. There's the shot. Yes, sir!
Some beautiful work by Dave Keon as he stole that puck away from Dwayne Rupp, holding the puck and passed it out to Armstrong, who lost it off his stick right here on a beautiful setup. Got it back to Jim McKinney, and as McKinney shot it, Keon just tipped it up past
Toronto goal scored by number 14, Keon. Assist, number 18, McKinney. and number 10, Armstrong. The time, 9:17.
9:17, and that's Keon's 7th goal while the Leafs have been shorthanded this season. That ties the record, I believe. Puck is shot into the Leaf zone. Comes back to the blue line. Left the shot go. He missed the target. Toronto leading 5-1. A shot to score! A deflection in front of the net. And a shot by Wojtowicz, and it's 5-2.
We'll have to pick that up. I'm not too sure who did deflect that. Whether I believe it was John Pronovo who tipped that shot. There it is. Yes, just tipped it there. Deflecting it back on the short side past Jock Pont, who was moving the other way. John Pronovo, number 19.
Pittsburgh goal scored by number 19, Pronovo. Assist, number 2, Rupp, and number 3, Wojtowicz. The time, 9:32.
That was Pronovo from Rupp and Wojtowicz. 5-2, 10:15 left. The long shot right of the net. Henderson moves up, and he let it go, and Dory couldn't get over fast enough. Vaughn on the right wing. Got it for Ellis. Ullman tried to get to it. It's cleared over the line, and Wojtowicz gets it out. Olis missed the body check, and then overskates the puck, and Ullman has it. Up for Ellis, off his skate. Pronovo at center ice. Henderson got a piece of it to Ullman. Ullman has got. Play goes right on. Wojtowicz shot it out to center. Brought up by Zane now. Stopped by Baugh, and Ullman has it. Ullman couldn't get away. A pass for Pittsburgh over the blue line. Off the stick of Zane. Shot out by Ellis again. Blackburn trying to wait for his teammates to get onside, and Barnes steps into him and holds him there with 9:18 remaining. For Dave Keon, that was his 22nd goal of the year, his 7th he scored this season, and he has tied the NHL record for the most goals in one season. And of course, that's while they're shorthanded. So Toronto leads Pittsburgh 5-2 with 9 minutes and 13 seconds left. Sittler for Harrison. Harrison couldn't get over the line. Spencer flipped it. Watson gets it over to Seager on the wing. Harrison broke it up. Tried to set up Sittler, and it's Watson coming back at center for Pittsburgh with a long shot. Can't stop that, and it's Pellet. And it's tipped off the stick of Brian Hextall into the crowd for a face-off. A reminder that this Wednesday, Hockey Night in Canada comes to our viewers from Maple Leaf Gardens as the Leaf hosts the California Golden Seals. Telecast will be brought to you in part by Ford of Canada and their Mercury and Ford dealers. Jim Morrison shoots the puck in. Picked off there by Rick Lee. Lee being watched by Hextall. He still has it, though. Cleared it off the grass, down the ice. Harrison going after it. Morrison trying to cover him. Watson goes back. Takes a look. Gives it to Hextall. Hextall up at center. Stopped by Pellet. Stepped in. Hextall didn't see it. Got into the corner. Darryl Sittler clears it back to Lee. Lee up for Darryl Sittler. Having difficulty. He and Watson go down. It's knocked out by Pellet. Morrison shooting it over the Leaf line. Cleared out again. Shot back in. There's going to be a delayed whistle, but Spencer decides to flick it down the ice. Leafs change their defense. Back up for Pittsburgh at center. Ron shot over the line. Vaughn got a piece of McDonald. McDonald is covered. And Darryl Sittler comes back with Dory and Harrison. They're over the line. Three of them closing in right in front of the Pittsburgh missile. Ron shot comes back at center. Stopped by Bob Baugh. Jock still has possession. Goes over the leaf line, trying to go around Dory. Gets his shot away. Dory cleared it, but not out. McCallum a shot. That goes into the corner. Dory ahead for Sittler. Sittler trying to get it out. He does. With Spencer, who takes the pass. Spencer over the line. Back to Dory. In for Sittler. And it ends up back of the net. Van Sater trying to pull away from Armstrong. He's checked. Rupp can't get anywhere as the Leafs are forechecking now. Pittsburgh shoots the puck off the boards. Shot trying to come in. Sittler shoots it down the ice and trying to get a change with 6 minutes and 39 seconds left. Now 37. It's touched by Rupp. And we'll have a face-off. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
This is where the noise is. And this is where the quiet is. The 1971 Ford LTD. One of the strongest, quietest Fords ever built. And also the most luxurious. With a new body frame design that presents a solid barrier against road noise. This year, take a quiet break in the 71 Ford. Ford gives you better ideas.
Whiteaway cut the puck in the Leaf zone. It goes for McMillan. McMillan with Monahan. Try to set him up. Armstrong is out there. And McMillan shoots it over the line for Monahan. It's got back out again. And Rick Lee then feeds it to McMillan to Monahan. Shoots the puck in back of the net. Toronto leading Pittsburgh 5-2. 6:10 remaining in the game. Armstrong trying to dig the puck out. Prentice lost it to McKinney. McKinney's pass, and Prentice has it. Prentice's pass for Hybrock. Rick Lee back for it. And he just shoots it down the ice. That's going over the red line. That will be touched. Brought back after Bobby Blackburn touched it. They're going to the Leaf bench is Rick Lee. Lee is going to the dressing room over there and apparently gets struck in the face. We'll have a look at it now. There's Rick Lee going back. Harbrook's going after him. And he just got creased, apparently, with that stick of Harbrook's as he started to turn around and come out. We saw that Harbrook was trying to lift his stick to get the puck back and keep it in the Leaf zone. And he accidentally kicked Rick Lee up the top of the forehead. Now coming down the ice is Henderson. A quick pass to Ellis. There's the shot. That's saved by Smith. It knocked him down. It comes back to Pellick. Pellick to Henderson. He's closing in. He's trying to get set. Took a shot and hit a leg. Ullman moves up, and they hold it for a face-off for the Pittsburgh zone to the left.
Look at Al Smith in the net, and he's rubbing that right arm where he took that shot around Ellis, and that was going a mile a minute, that shot off Ellis' stick.
Buffalo has closed the gap with the Red Wings. It's now 2-1. Fleming from Watson and Freight at 8:37 of the final period. Detroit leading 2-1. Back up for Pittsburgh. Val Fontaine to center. Shot the puck into the corner. It goes back to the net. Bob Baugh is there. Off the boards for Ellis. Failed to get it out. Fontaine shot it. Bathgate was nearly in position to get it. Baugh knocked it back. Clark came out of the net. He was hit by Boyer. Then Pellick bumped into Boyer. The puck is along the boards. Boyer is knocked down. Morrison lets his shot go. Front stopped up. Bob Baugh shot it around on the boards. Bathgate centered it, and it goes to Ellis. Ellis to Henderson. Off his stick. Watson bumped into him. It goes into the corner. Bob Baugh shoots it around for Ellis. Ellis takes a look. Up to Ullman. Ullman off the boards to Pellick. For Ullman. And Morrison beat him to it. Gives it to Wally Boyer with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game. Up for Bathgate. Penguins just shoot the puck into the Leaf zone. Pellick is there. To Ellis. Ellis gets it out on the right wing. Morrison shot it to an open wing over the line, and Mike Pellick skates back. To Bond. Up for Ullman. And he can't get by center. Bond gets a hold of it, shot it off the boards. Bathgate pulled away from Ullman and Henderson. Flipped it over the line for Follis. He's knocked down. The puck goes into the corner. They center it back. There's nobody there. Comes out to center. McCallum over to Rupp. His long shot is wide. Ends up in the corner. Bathgate and Pellick up together. It's centered out in front. Follis shot it on a backhand wide. Spencer just clears it out to center ice. There's a race for the puck. Spencer steals it, gives it to Sittler, and he shot it wide. Harrison keeping it in. So does Sittler to Harrison. It's in the corner. McCallum shooting it up for Pronovo. Pronovo gets it up to Zane, who comes at center. Back to Pronovo. And he's poke checked by Rick Lee, who gives it to Harrison. Harrison hit by McCallum. Lee shoved in. McKinney gets it ahead to Harrison at center. Harrison still in possession. Stick handling at center ice. He flips a backhand into the corner with 2:48 left in the game, and the Leafs leading 5-2. Shot ahead to Zane again of Pittsburgh, coming straight down the ice with Pronovo. Over the line is Zane again. Zane goes to the corner. That's a backhand and goes right in front, and that is deflected wide. Lee around to Spencer. And he handed it to Zane, who was stopped by Harrison. Harrison getting it up for Spencer. Spencer at center. Trying to flip it over for Sittler. Sittler stole the puck and then was given a shove and knocked down. Right Follis. He stopped. Sittler tried to get away, and he couldn't, and protecting his close. Rick Lee to McKinney. McKinney's pass comes right back to Rick Lee. Up for McMillan. It goes the length of the ice, but it touched McMillan's stick. Blackburn will come back with 1 minute and 50 seconds left. A shot at center. Slapped by Baum. Slapped it back to the blue line. Waterwitz then to Blackburn. Up to Glenn Sather at center. He shot the puck into the corner. Clark out of the net. Shot it into the corner. Sather centered it. And Clark got a piece of it. It's out in front again, and Keon's got it. Keon coming down the left wing to Monahan at center, and he overskated it. Back comes Glenn Sather. Over the line with Hextall. His shot is off the glass. Stopped by McCallum. He shot it into the corner. Clark knocked it back to Dory. Dory for Monahan. It's against the boards. McDonald finally trapped Monahan.
If I had the protection you get from the steel guardrails and the doors of every Mercury Meteor, I'd go through that Boston defense every time. Mercury Meteor, it's really built.
Shot down the ice by the Leafs. Less than a minute to go, and Blackburn will touch it, and I believe that is a 54 seconds left in the game.
Well, while we have a moment, as you suggested, Davy Keon's goal tied a record that was set back in 1957-58 by Jerry Topazzini of the Boston Bruins. That's for goals while your team is shorthanded.
And that set a record for him was every chance in the world of beating it the way he's been going.
Halfway through the schedule, he's got a long way to go yet.
Right.
And the face-off is shot by McDonald was deflected wide. It comes back to the blue line. A drive, stopped up. McMillan fails to get it out. Pittsburgh putting on the pressure. McDonald is shot and out off the target. Another drive. This time it hits Pellick. Pellick up for Keon. He skated out. Blackburn shot the puck, and it's offside going into the Leaf zone with 32 seconds left in the game. Toronto 5, Pittsburgh 2. Ed Kelly back to the Pittsburgh bench. Shot caught in the nets, and he's been hard pressed in this last period. As Pittsburgh certainly never has given up. at any time. They were down at one point, 5-1 and 4-0. We have 21 seconds left. Pittsburgh has the puck in. Hicksdale trying to center to Saver. Saver missed it. Morrison closes in. He's tripped by Henderson. Ullman gets it, and a tripping penalty to Henderson with 11 seconds.
The Henderson penalty on Jim Morrison as he pulled his feet right out from underneath him as Morrison was cutting back to his inside.
Toronto penalty to number 19, Henderson. 2 minutes for tripping. The time, 19:49.
Well, that evens up the penalties in the game. Out of 14 penalties, it's 7 apiece. Now that comes with 11 seconds left. It's tapped to the blue line, but not out. Morrison's shot is wide. Watson lets one go. That went wide of the target. It's headed out in front. Play is called, and we have a second left. And it was underneath Rick Reed. Carnival scoring from Rupp and Wojtowicz at 9:32 of the final period has been the last scoring play. The Leafs, previous to that, 9:17, Keon got number 22, which was his record-tying 7th goal while his team was shorthanded. There goes the bell. The game is over. In just a moment, our 3-star selection.
Canada. Warm, soft breezes that caress. And then the great Canadian winter with icy winds that cut right through you. Cortina is the import car with a special Canadian winter driving package. You go in comfort, winter or summer, in an economical car that doesn't stint on important features. Cortina gives you a huge trunk, room for 5 in style, aeroflow ventilation, an optional automatic. Cortina, with an advanced design bowling piston engine for big performance and excellent gas economy. It's a strong car built to last a long time. Cortina, the winner of over 500 international competitions, will win you with a very low price. Ford's Cortina, a lot more car.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 3 stars of tonight's game selected by Foster Hero. The first star, Brian Spencer. The second star, Jack Clark. And the third star, Jean Pronovo. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
Did your last card turn you off? Drink too much gas? Cost too much money? Why gamble? This year, make yourself a Maverick. You can get 2 doors, a peppy 6 engine, simple service, in the economy Maverick, and save a lot of money. Or you can make yourself a sporty economy Maverick with hood scoops, optional buckets, and sporty looks in the new Maverick Grabber and save a lot of money. Or you can make yourself a family economy Maverick with 4 doors. More power if you want it. Extra room. You'll have the new family Maverick and save a lot of money. Why gamble? We've got 3 sure things for you. Make yourself a Maverick, the simple machine that always pays off. Ford gives you better ideas.
3 stars once again, Spencer, Plant, and Pronovo. Pittsburgh outshot Toronto 39-38. Let's look now at the out-of-town scoreboard. No finals as yet. Detroit over Buffalo 2-1. There's still some time to go. No scoring from New York, Minnesota. Chicago leading Boston 4-3. Nothing on the Vancouver-St. Louis game. Montreal defeated Los Angeles 1-0 this afternoon. So the final score, Toronto Maple Leafs 5 and Pittsburgh 2 from Maple Leaf Gardens, Ward Canal. Good night, everyone.
Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Imperial Oil and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors. Ford, the better idea company with better products for you. And by Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale and Molson Canadian Lager Beer. Hockey Night in Canada is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction by any means, in whole or in part, is not permitted.
CBC Weekend reports the results of a national public opinion poll on abortion and looks at the frightening accident record of the snowmobile. Tomorrow night at 10:30 in Newfoundland. This is the CBC Television Network.